no copping, I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my third, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my third shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really had no punchlines. And all you rappers looking like a lunch line. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now. Right now, need crew love right now. Cause we too up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Hop out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. Yeah, I'm too up, round blew up, copped that new rape on them haters, threw up, brother went to jail for them, told me you up, first time I seen 100 bands, yeah I grew up, ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were...
First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. They go play action here on first down. And the tight end Dixon left side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Wilson. And Dixon has it. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
First carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On third down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. And this will be taken at the 13. Dances by him. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Bears take over. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
18.
On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
18.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 61 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
On 1st down, they run with Howard. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Trubisky with a give to Howard. Howard has the first down and then some. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Jordan Howard, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Oh, this is blocked. And the defense picks it up. And he gets it back near midfield, but the dream ends there. He doesn't take it all the way back for 2. And the extra point attempt snuffed out.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and we had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say. First quarter, we'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax.
Whoa, bad move. A good pickup there, a 22.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his big target, Brandon Marshall, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Throwing again. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now Wilson throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They go play action with Wilson. It's caught right side, Dixon. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's going deep, and he fires one that's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the return will stop him well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's go. Run the ball after it.
They run play action for Howard. Now Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears. And he fields it cleanly. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Big Eddie Goldman there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Play action. Now Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. Baldwin's first catch going to be good enough for a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Wilson now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw is Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 4 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Wilson to throw. And he's got a man open. That's Marshall. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
I'm sorry, but it's almost unfair. Brandon Marshall can make so many plays, but even when you think he's covered,
he's not. No,
he's really not. He uncovers and makes a play on you and picks up good yards in doing so.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 10 more there and another first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They get only a yard there. Now it's third and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On third and goal, Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Aaron Lynch able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up fourth down. And Janikowski bangs it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up second down.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. On second down, here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now it's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is picked up by the Bears. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. all receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make this a second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So after the penalty, here's 2nd and 3. On the handoff, this is Howard. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Now Trubisky on first down. The screen pass here to Cohen. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, Trubisky. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. After the interception, here's Trubisky. Throw left side complete. It's Cohen. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Parkey's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in. And had just enough to get it done.
And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, 18.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. He's going to loft one. And got his man complete. Allen Robinson, kiss him goodbye. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears will add on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Akeem Hicks able to drop him for a loss of 4. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the shotgun, Wilson completes it to Dixon. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, They said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him. Made it very tough for him to get the ball.
And Janikowski bangs it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus the 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
This is Howard on second down. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Bears on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Steps away to his left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Burton. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Red, up. 18.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Caught out left side by Robinson. Touchdown, Chicago! Allen Robinson with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bears will extend their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener that makes you feel more safe. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can throw and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk first down. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again. Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Hey, you start to feel sorry now for the young man throwing the football. This is really turning into a disaster.
Listen, it's baptism. All right, this is almost a rite of passage. This young in the league, Go back and find a Hall of Fame quarterback and check their records for their first 2 years, especially if they started the bulk of the games. I bet you'll find double-digit interceptions on just about every one of them. They have to learn as they go along.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. To sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. They run again with Carson, and that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. They'll toss it out to Carson, and he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And now the punt team couldn't get ready in time, and this is going to be a delay. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is brought in at the 21. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Again, it's Howard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run leaves them just inches from a first. Could they possibly be tempted to try this on 4th and about a foot? Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Now it's Lockett. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. and that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. And the Seahawks on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. A carry now for McKissick. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for Chicago, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks,